Hello guys, welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to be looking at Mikhail Tal versus Bobby Fischer. Uh, these are some interesting games. They played 13 games head to head against each other, with Bobby Fischer winning 7 of them and Tal winning 4 of them, and they had two draws, I guess. So yeah, this is one of the first games where they played where Tal won, and yeah, this is an interesting game. So I thought we could go through them together. If you want me to cover the rest of the games, let me know. There are some interesting games. I've been through some of them. So yeah, I mean, let's get right into it, yeah. So we have a pretty solid normal opening Queen's Gambit, just developing the centers, developing the pieces, Fisher castles, and yeah, we got the pawn push, and instead of taking, white pushes forward. And by the way, this is not such a crazy game where Tal just makes insane sacrifices or anything. Surprisingly, he's he's very defensive for some reason. He's just calm. You know, yeah, it's not the crazy Mikhail Tal that we know. So yeah, which was pretty interesting to me while watching the game. And yeah, Tal castles himself, and we've got this good position center where the knights are covering all of these three pawns, protecting them. And I think this move was to push this pawn somehow. This pawn, make this pawn active, the F pawn. But I don't know why Bobby Fischer never really moved this pawn for some reason. And we've got the queen side push, and the bishop comes out, and here they trade pieces. And yeah, the weakness is here in this pawn, so white tries to attack, and this is a normal defensive move. And yeah, the knight goes back, further protecting this pawn, which is again normal. And here comes the pawn push. Finally, I know you've been wanting to do this. So basically, what this accomplishes that either takes the pawn and opens up the rook file, or just closes the queen completely from ever coming. Because if the queen moves anywhere, the knight can just sack, and it's yeah. So takes with the pawn. I think black just wants to push the pawn here and close this line completely. So yeah, this is happening, and I feel like I don't know why I don't really like this move. I like this move. This move is good. I don't know why. It's a solid center for black, and black can come here further as well with the knights, making them activate. But yeah, so takes, and here instead of taking trading the queens, Tal didn't. I feel like he could have just taken the queens and went for this pawn, but yeah, this knight becomes really active, which is not good news for white. So I guess he just saw that. We trade, and the bishop comes out attacking this pawn. This pawn is the weak structure, so it's the weakest of them all. So he tries to attack, and here we see the Mikhail Tal that we know, where his piece is getting attacked, but he doesn't give a shit. He just tries to attack the queen. This is something that he always does. When his piece gets attacked, he just doesn't care. And here, I think this was a better move, to be honest. But yeah, Fischer goes here, and the attack continues. And this was a sacrifice. He sacked his knight to open up this, and we have a check. Takes, takes. The king goes back, and the rook becomes active again, attacking the rook or attacking the queen once again. And yeah, this one's pinning the knight. This was a stupid move, to be honest. Takes, and yeah, the knight is trapped, and the king comes out, and we have this double rook, which is things are not looking good for black. Let me just say that. The problem is that you can't develop the bishop, you can't develop the rook, nor the knight, so everything is trapped. I'll let you know. So he pushes the pawn for some reason, I don't know why. and the knight plays around a bit. Keeps jumping around everywhere. And after this move, black resigns. So I'll tell you why. Because after this move, let's say so yeah, basically you can't develop the bishop anywhere because your rook gets fucked. You can't move the knight, which is getting attacked by the way. You can't move the knight because if you do, I'll just take this. And you have no place to go to be honest. Where would you go? So yeah. So even if let's say I go here, which is protecting the knight, I can just trade this. And I'm a piece of, I have a rook and a knight versus a knight endgame where, when you play against Mikhail Tal, that's like practically useless. So yeah, in this position, black had to resign. There was no other choice. What I can do is, even if let's say I just push the pawn, I can just do this and win a free piece. Or not even take with the rook, I can just take with the pawn. Or even once I do this, I can do this, and after that, this is like, it's done, So yeah, this was a fantastic game by Tal, I mean, I think where the game really changed was this one. Once he sacked this knight, he didn't care about the knight because the knight wasn't doing anything anyway. Once he sacked this knight, I mean, look at the elo. Sorry, look at the evaluation bar. It was pretty equal up until this point. But then once the queen takes the knight, the eval bar just goes up for white. This happens. If he doesn't take, if he just goes back, I think we have this. Wait, we have this. What happened? Why can't I take this? Why am I not able to take? Wait, is it my move? Okay. So wait, wait. So instead of this, the king goes back. Fuck. Why can't I take this pawn, though? Okay. Okay, I think it's the internet. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So, yeah. And if he takes, I take. If he goes here, just come here. That's a mate. And if he doesn't take, think black has this. I can still do this. This is like a, walk in, some way or one way or another, I am getting a mate. So, yeah, it's just bound to happen, It's something, yeah, I can just do this. That's it. Whatever, you get the point, So, yeah, uh, this is where the game truly changed, in my opinion. I mean, according to the eval bar as well, where he threatened it. I think what Fischer should have done is just move his queen back or something, maybe like the thing says, like the arrow says, instead of just played a bit more defensive rather than go for that knight. He was a bit greedy, I would say. Once he went for the knight, there was no defense for this pawn. The knight was here, covering this bishop as well. So the bishop was so inactive. I think at some point Fischer should have made it active. That was a mistake as well. So yeah, I mean, it was pretty. I think it wasn't really competitive for black. It was pretty. Sorry, white. I mean, it was pretty standard. It was pretty reasonable. The middle game was just messed up for Bobby Fischer. And yeah, I don't know what this move accomplishes to be honest. And I mean, he does realize his knight is pinned. So yeah, and this is where he resigned because there was nothing he could do. I can even take this. Once takes, and boom. I still have a pass pawn. There's no way you're preventing that unless you sacrifice this bishop. So yeah, I mean, this was a pretty solid game for Tal. Pretty solid, standard, easy game. So yeah, I think this was the first game they played. Yeah, this was the first game out of the 13. And uh, yeah, I just wanted to keep this short. So let me know what games do you want next. There are a lot of games. So let me know what games do you want next, and I'll let you know. Let me know, yeah, in the comments. Bye bye. Take care.